So this is Sam, and we are live again at South by Southwest. It has been a really fun time. I was actually just enjoying the Stellar Lounge, standing there looking at this incredible poster. I tweeted a photo of it. This great poster of all the different partnerships that Stellar's involved with. And someone walked up, Louisa here, and said, hey, you know what? I'm actually on the BD team, and several of those names on that poster are actually accounts that you're a part of or you worked on directly.
Exactly.
And I just had to, bring her on camera for the community because I know that this is definitely a topic that everyone talks about. We see these great partnerships, these great alignments start happening, but how does that happen and what's the strategy moving forward? So thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure. Always a fun time to come and have an opportunity to chat with you.
Yeah.
I love your excitement. I feel like you bring a totally cool vibe to our Stellar family, and I'm so glad that you're here with us at South by. So where do you want to start? Do you want me to talk a little bit about the poster and the names that I'm personally super excited about that I've been able to participate with and participate in bringing on? We can start there, and then I can share a little bit about some of the exciting stuff that we're working on. How's that?
Nice. That sounds good.
Cool.
I'm going to start a little bit even further back, though.
Okay.
So I did not mention, what is your actual position title with the SDF?
Sure. So I am part of the BD and partnerships team, and I lead partnerships for crypto exchanges, custodians, as well as applications that's built on the Stellar network.
Very exciting, very exciting. So yeah, I'm looking at that poster as you were mentioning, and there's several key names there.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about that? So go ahead. I was trying to guess, and I'm thinking, I saw Coinbase there.
Yeah.
So I would assume Coinbase.
I've been working closely with Coinbase on broadening the support on their platform for other Stellar assets. Obviously, they support our native token, and we have a very cool earn program that's very popular with retail users.
Yeah.
But we're working on other things, so stay tuned for that one.
You heard it first.
The other one that I'm also personally very proud of is the partnership with Fireblocks.
That's a huge one.
You got it.
Okay, I didn't see that one coming.
You got it.
All right.
We're actually co-hosting a cruise with them at Bitcoin Miami coming up in April, so hopefully that'll be a cool event. But they are a critical infrastructure partner for us, right? When it comes to the ability to hold Stellar assets, they can integrate any new Stellar tokens within 2 weeks.
Wow.
And we also use them ourselves, so we're very impressed with their technology, and they're really great people. So
yeah, and Fireblocks is they're nationally globally recognized.
100% globally recognized. Michael has been doing a great job in raising money. They recently acquired another Israeli company to focus on payments associated with stablecoins. So very much aligned in terms of what they're building and the direction that they want to go into but in comparison to what Stellar and what we're about.
Wow, that's incredible. All right, so we got two. Give us some more. Come on. I mean, this is interesting.
Okay, again, this isn't playing favorites or anything, because
No,
I would
not
say
playing favorites, yeah.
all partners within the Stellar ecosystem are important in their own unique way. The other one I would call out would be, OKCoin is actually the first U.S. crypto
that was
exchange
just recently announced
to support USDC on Stellar. So now retail users like you and I can actually deposit and withdraw USDC on Stellar via OKCoin, which is very cool.
One question that comes up often is, what is the strategy, in the business partnership department?
That's a really, really good question, Sam. I would say, Stellar, most of the current followers or the new followers of Stellar, you realize that we've been really focused on payments, cross-border remittances as a use case traditionally.
Right.
So BD and partnerships have spent a lot of time focusing on and off ramps and payments companies.
A huge one, the MoneyGram one.
Exactly, you got it. So we can on-ramp from fiat onto digital currencies, or rather Stellar tokens specifically. and then they can off-ramp back into fiat, right? We've
Right.
established a global network to do that. But what can you do with Stellar tokens after you are on-ramped into the Stellar network?
Right.
That's something that I'm personally super excited about and that I'm hoping to build a strategy around so that
Nice.
we can enable crypto native companies to build on Stellar and be creative about what you can then do with Stellar tokens once you're in our network. And I think that's sort of my near to medium term goal on from a strategy standpoint for partnerships.
No, that's exciting. That's exciting because, so much of what makes Stellar special are these additional assets that these
You got it.
tokenized assets that exist. How much is the relationship between the business development team and DevRel? I had a great conversation with Justin earlier, and you saw like there's this almost like a tag team, right? It's like
Yeah.
as the BD team sees needs and vice versa. Give us some insight into how that relationship kind of folds.
It's I would say we work very closely with DevRel as well as the enterprise ecosystem team, right,
Okay.
within Stellar. So the enterprise ecosystem team that Justin heads up, like his team is very much responsible for matchmaking the existing Stellar ecosystem partners with one another.
Okay.
Because now what we have is we have different permutations of like relationships that can happen with like a growing ecosystem. BD is trying to bring in new partners into that ecosystem. And as we are having these conversations, we can say, now you can possibly connect to MoneyGram. Now you can possibly connect to Tribal Credit, which is an awesome business focusing on LATAM, which I'd love to chat a little bit about with
Yes,
as well.
I'm glad you brought that up.
But like, as these new partners are joining the ecosystem, they want to know what's in it for them as well, right?
Absolutely.
How can joining the Stellar family be value accretive to them for them? And
Right.
so we work from that standpoint in matchmaking existing partners with one another, as well as new partners coming onto the ecosystem.
Incredible. So you just did a nice name drop. Tribal Credit.
You got it.
Yeah, I was very excited about Tribal Credit. Why don't you give us a little background that you may know on as far as how that relationship started and some of the real world implications that it's going to offer to our ecosystem?
Yeah, so Tribal Credit, they are a portfolio company, meaning our enterprise fund. I don't know if you've spoken to Andrea yet from our investments.
You know what? I've got to hang out with her. I know she's not here right now, but
Yeah.
yes, we've got to chat often.
You should hit her up. She's been doing an amazing job in building up the Stellar's brand within the VC community. So she made a decision to invest in Tribal Credit because she saw the potential and the synergies there. They are quite focused, growing very fast in Latin America, but they provide small, medium businesses the ability for them to pay bills, the ability
Wow.
for them to have a credit card, for them to borrow, and they recently integrated USDC on Stellar to facilitate a lot of these products and services.
Wow.
And so remember what I was saying when I said, what can people now do once they have Stellar assets? I'm looking at the Tribal Credits of the world to help us, creatively come up with ideas and use cases that can ensure that the value stays on the Stellar network, as opposed to just simply on-ramping and off-ramping, which is still important.
Right.
But how do we create that mini circular economy where people don't have to off-ramp and they can,
Exactly.
spend USDC on Stellar at a merchant, and
like that.
or earn yield, right?
Right.
Let's get on top of that.
Earn yield is exactly where my mind was going. I mean, decentralized finance is such a big topic. Up until now, it's really more experimental, right? We haven't really seen, products like you said, where people come on and, they maybe, let's say, got a line of credit from Tribal Credit and they have capital sitting there to earn yield. How much is that something that you're also looking for in partnerships and whatnot? Is that something on your radar?
100%.
100%.
DeFi is something we are very much interested in. I will say that a lot of it is still dependent on the development of our smart contract layer. I'm sure
Yes.
you chatted with Tober about that. I
Yes,
haven't had a
yes.
chance to look at that interview, but if you think about some of the other layer ones that have DeFi networks, the way that it works is they're enabling smart contracts to deposit certain things directly into the smart contract and then be able to generate that yield. We don't have that ability right now, but as we are building out that capability, I think there'll be more and more opportunities within the DeFi space for Stellar and Stellar companies.
Nice. Well, look, Louisa, it has been great. I'm glad to grab you for a few minutes here to kind of talk. If you're listening out there, let's say they're the next Coinbase, the next Tribal Credit, and they're listening. They're saying, hey, look, I want to learn how to plug into the Stellar network. What is the best way for them to gain access and to maybe get a phone call?
Yeah, they can either reach out to me directly. I'm sure you'll tag me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or you can reach out to partnerships@stellar.org.
There you go.
And we'll be sure to get back to you, and looking forward to having a lot of new conversations after this.
Well, this is great. I mean, this entire weekend, even for someone like myself who's been following, I got to meet so many core people that have been here making the Stellar Development Foundation what it is and making it so special. Louisa, you're no exception to that rule.
Thanks,
there.
Sam.
I love the energy and the interactiveness that you clearly have with the partners that you've been bringing on.
Cool.
And I'm excited. I'm sure a lot of you guys are excited to figure out what these next partners will be. So thank you for swinging by.
My pleasure.
And we'll see it. Make sure to watch this and other interviews as we are here at South by Southwest, having fun and helping maybe change the world a little bit while we're here.